of you to the advanced course. I also take this opportunity to thank all shloka chanting Matajis who were there every day reading out the shlokas for each one of us, led by Krishnaveni Mataji, Sharda Mataji, Bhushan Mataji, Asha Mataji, and Shailaja Mataji. And also would like to thank all Ashtakam singing devotees and the translation readers. We will wait for Prabhuji to log in. He was yesterday night traveling to Bangalore and should be joining us any moment. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
My
So
background
I didn't see the ISKCON Mangaluru.
is there. Now I am visible. Everything is
Yes,
fine.
yes,
Voice is okay.
absolutely fine, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So somebody is there wants to sing.
No, this is admin Sindhu raising her hand. She would be the co-host today along with me.
Okay, okay, let me do that first. Okay, admin Sindhu. Good. Mhm. So already they have got the online. Yeah, I was just
Prabhuji, you have to mute everyone.
you want me to do that? I do. Mhm. No, you people can do. You have been. I've already appointed admins. They are in control. Chalo. Jai Radha Madhova Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhova Kunja Vihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodhanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodhanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravana Chari Yamuna Tiravana Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodhanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodhanandana Gajajana Ramjana. Mataji, you can give me your kartal. Kartal.
Kappa?
Kartal.
Oh, Kartal, yes.
Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhoma Kunjamihari Jaya Radha Madhoma Kunjamihari. So, as usual, let us hear one Srila Prabhupada uh, already.
So this is a very lightweight.
No problem. Jai Radha Madhova Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodhana Vrijanarandana Yashodhanandana Rajajanarandana Yamunatira Anachari Yamunatira Anachari Jayodhana Madhoma Kunjabihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. I wish we do 2-3 hours kirtan. This Prabhupada tune is so nice. We can sing for hours and hours. Okay, now let us. I think Sunday that will be this. Now we have officially a course. It was to go till Friday, so good today is also there. And we have little bit. I'm correcting on what Suresh Prabhu said that we will be ending today. Actually, I have officially I end today because today is a Friday class was to end. But there is still phase difference between these two batches, your batch and previous batch. I still need to take more sessions. So uh, this is today Friday. I will take one more tomorrow also. So the continuity is there. And then Sunday, you will meet the old batch at the same time. And we are going there on the chapter number 8. And you are now on the second chapter, part 1. So this is the third class, and they will be going for the ninth class. So next week also I'll continue in the morning, and And otherwise, definitely the videos are available. You can see videos, but better join and we will be studying the Gita together. There is another way possible. I can make this a Saturday morning serial. And then we don't need to. Suresh Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Suresh Prabhu.
Yes.
There is two options. One option is that I keep taking even next week classes, but the phase differences increase a lot. Why don't I do one thing? This I make as a Saturday serial instead of Sunday serial morning. It doesn't make much difference. Every Saturday they will have the class. Then my Saturday class, which I take course, which I take for my batch, uh, can be taken by somebody else. That way, what we promise continues. I do only 3 classes, and then every Saturday, serial will continue. Uh, will that be fine with a Sunday serial or a Saturday serial? But I think morning time, it should not make much difference. It is Saturday or Sunday.
So from first March onwards, for Saturdays and Sundays, somebody will have to take the regular classes.
That is okay. That I have people. Just like, in fact, they like those people more than me. Like we had.
Rashmi Mataji taking Sundays.
Let me just ask them. I'll make a
Oh,
poll. Let us.
yeah, that's better.
Everything is election. Everything is vox populi. They call. Okay? Because that way I don't have to take 6 more classes to make them. At least 5 more classes. Whole week will go morning. Would you like to choose between 2 options? Five more classes next week. Followed by every people can put on the chat their opinions on this. By the time I am a more, it's actually exactly fitting Saturday thing. And it'll be exclusive. They will not be joining.
So there is one response on chat. Saturday would be good, Prabhuji. Saturday batch will be good. Second one.
Yeah. Second one. Yeah. Okay. Now let us poll it out. I think this is. I was wondering what to do, and I think the correct intelligence is this. Now, Sunday also you have a very lot of work. So if you want to join the Sunday batch, Then next week, I have to continue 5 more classes because there is a phase difference. And then every Sunday, you will eat together. Or from tomorrow, every morning is a morning time. Saturday, 6 o'clock should be fine, I feel. Uh,
Prabhuji, I have a suggestion. I don't know whether it will work or not.
Hmm.
Can I?
yeah, please.
So today is Thursday, Friday.
It's Friday already. So anyway, we promised them, you said today is the last. So I'm keeping your word also.
So we have 3 more days for this week. Today, tomorrow, and day after.
No. There are not 3 more days. Tomorrow is Friday.
Yes.
Okay,
So
today is only Thursday.
yes. So since we have
we to
since
start today, and then Friday one day holiday, and all week by holiday continue.
Yeah.
But still a lot of way to go.
I was thinking these 3 days we will request devotees to keep their questions at bay for the Sunday sessions, and these 2 hours take up two chapters.
Even if I take 2 chapters today,
We'll be covering.
no, still long way to go. There is a phase difference.
So we will cover up to 7 chapters, and then only 8 will be left.
No, today is the
Thursday.
Today we have done only 2 till now. So I can do 2 today.
Yeah.
And then 2 for Friday.
And 2 on Saturday.
Okay. Most of the people find and this is an option. No, Sunday batch is always you're welcome to join. I have no problem. Little phase difference is there. Okay, that you can join on Saturday. Poll results. This is the poll result. 64% people say do from Saturday morning from tomorrow. Oh, that is not tomorrow. Saturday. Not tomorrow is Friday. I am in little disoriented. And okay, we have one more day. Friday to today to Saturday to. Okay. Anyway, so let us start the class now. I think enough of this. Some indication I got, Prabhuji. Hana?
Yeah.
People are ready for this one option. We'll discuss at the end of class. Now, otherwise, no class will get delayed. Okay.
Suresh Prabhuji? Prabhuji, Ramdas Prabhuji is not there in the chair.
No, I think the connectivity issue is there, and probably the network is lost. He should be back any moment.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Zoom threw me out, so I had to come back. Okay, chalo. Okay, this is done and the presentation is ready. Chalo, we start with already what I had planned. To do everybody here, Prabhupada's voice. Okay, now can one person take the role of Prabhupada? Can raise hand, and other person will be the doctor. There is the conversation proper than doctor. Okay, now before that, we discussed various reasons we are not the body, we are soul. Can anybody remember among them what was the most striking reason which convinces you you are not the body, you are soul? And the level one we did. Anybody raise your hand? Let me know what was the most important reason which you felt we are not the body. Among all of them, which was most striking personally.
The reincarnation and past life memories. That one
Most striking.
was,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Mahita Mata.
The research done by Eva Stevenson.
Yeah, and Stevenson, take it then. Anybody
Though
else?
we, Prabhuji, though we have money and everything, still the soul isn't happy. So we are the soul and not the body.
If you were the body, we should have been happy by bodily gratification. Very good. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Ah.
When we die, people say like that is left. The body is still there, only the soul is left. So soul is there. So we are only the soul.
Oh, intuitive. Everybody, when somebody dies, say yes, gone. Everybody. They say bring the body. They don't even call. The moment you die, they don't utter your name. Bring the body.
Yes. Even the hand, legs, and everything is there. But without soul, they are helpless completely.
And they don't take your name. Bring the body. Your name is gone that moment.
Yes, Guruji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
I think the Panchakosha questions leads you to the methodical way of separating body from soul.
Oh, that is interesting. That is more logical. Yes, thank you, sir. How do you define Panchakoshas or the Panchaku? You break out the body away from the Anandamaya. Huh? You come to Anandamaya platform.
Aishwarya Mataji.
Actually, when a person is in coma, then only the consciousness is there. Inner consciousness is working on them, but they cannot move or they cannot do anything. They cannot think, but only the soul is there. But after they are dead, the soul is gone.
Correct. So you analyze the people under coma, that leads to a lot of conclusion. Very interesting it is. You know what happens? They say if somebody is under coma, if you put him under the bed, they leave bed sores. So they have some kind of nets and all in which they put them so the body sore doesn't come. And in some international big hospital, many are hanging like this. Unique beds created, and some person there came in the news. He woke up after 6 months in England. He didn't even know what is this corona. Because he was before corona, he became into coma. He's a young boy after major head injury. It was everybody thinking how to tell him there is something called corona in this world. Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. From the childhood, our
body is changing the size and shape till the last breath, and but what is still keeping alive inside is something what we call soul, perhaps.
Yes, okay. Body is changing, but I maintain us as the same person. Very good. Then?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Ah.
At the womb, the tissues start to form. Only after the heartbeat comes, once it is diagnosed as heartbeat is there, then appears that something is entering into the tissues and the baby start to form. So I call it as a soul which is entering into the womb of the newborn baby.
Okay.
Only with the Hare Krishna Prabhuji, only with the help of soul you will reach to Krishna. Only with body you cannot reach to Krishna.
Okay. Any other reason? Final, one more final.
Prabhuji, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna himself says that we are soul and not body.
That's the most important reason. Okay. That's the reason. Prabhupada will speak. Okay, now let us go. So you saw only one person got the Prabhupada's reason. And for a great Acharya like Prabhupada, who loves Krishna so much, that is the main reason. Okay, so somebody take the role of the doctor, somebody will take the role of Prabhupada. Any two people, we can assign Suresh Prabhuji. Somebody speak like Prabhupada, somebody like doctor. Prabhupada will he constrict any one of us. He's asking scientific reason. Prabhupada saying, no, that's the scientific reason. Yes, chalo. Anybody will like to take role of Prabhupada? We will have the Rishiji, you like or Prabhupada?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Rishi. You will take the role of doctor.
I am doctor. Yeah. I'm Prabhupada. Okay.
Suresh Prabhuji assigned one doctor and somebody for Prabhupada. You can unmute.
There is a lot of disturbance happening. Sriram Prabhuji, you be the doctor, and Rishi Sagar Prabhuji, you can be Srila Prabhupada.
Okay. Now
over to both of you to read out.
There is a disturbance. Sriram, your disturbance is coming in the background. Hare Krishna, Sriram, your voice. Oh, Sriram. Am I audible now? No, you are audible. Disturbance in the background.
So, Sriram Prabhuji, there's too much of.
Yeah, you take another person for doctor.
Akash Prabhuji, you can unmute.
Yeah, I'm unmuted. Thank you.
Yeah. So, Akash Prabhuji, you can read out the doctor's sentences, and Rishi Sagar Prabhuji, you can read out Srila Prabhupada's sentences. Over to both of you.
Play nicely, please a role.
Okay, we'll try.
Just wait.
So,
let me make. Now, start.
Can you scientifically prove that the soul exists? I mean, is it purely a matter of belief, or?
No, it is a scientific fact. Our science is perfect because we are receiving knowledge from the perfect source, Krishna. And modern so-called science is imperfect because the scientist's knowledge is received from imperfect sources. However, a great scientist you may be, you have to admit that your senses are imperfect.
Yes.
So imperfect senses can give only imperfect knowledge. What you are calling scientific knowledge is bogus because the men who have produced that knowledge are imperfect. How can you expect perfect knowledge from an imperfect person?
It's a question of a degree.
My point is that if you are unable to give perfect knowledge, what is the use of taking knowledge from you?
Can you scientifically prove that
the next
sorry.
Yeah, repeat it. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I accept that view, but how do you prove that the soul exists?
You take information from the perfect source, Krishna, or from Krishna's representative, who repeats the words of Krishna. That is the process of proof. Ivam parampara praptam. Transcendental knowledge must be received in disciplic succession. We don't accept knowledge from a rascal. We accept knowledge from Krishna, the Supreme. I may be a rascal, but I am receiving knowledge from the perfect source and repeating that. Whatever I say is perfect. A child may be ignorant. He does not know what is what, but because he has learned that a certain article is called table, when he says, Father, this is a table, his words are perfect. Similarly, if you hear from the perfect person and believe that your soul, believe then your knowledge is perfect, Krishna says, Tatat dehantara prapti. After death, the spirit soul enters another material body. We accept it. We don't require proof from a so-called scientist who is imperfect.
So the question of belief comes first.
It is not belief, it is fact.
Yes, but how do you prove the fact?
That Krishna says so is proof.
It has been said by Krishna, but
that is our Vedic proof. Whenever we say something, we immediately quote from the Vedic literature to support it. This is our process of proof, which is just like that in the court of law. When a lawyer is arguing in court, he must quote from previous judgments. Then his argument will be accepted by the judge as legal proof. Similarly, as soon as we say something, we immediately support it by quoting from the Vedic literature. That is the way of proof in spiritual matters. Otherwise, what are the scriptures for? If they are merely products of mental speculation, what is the use of these books? Of course, the Vedic literature also presents the absolute truth with all logic and reasoning. For example, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Dehinosmin yatha dehe komaram ya. Prabhu, could you help me with this?
Dehinosmin yatha dehe komaram yovanam jara tata deh antara prapti dhira satarana mohiyati.
The soul is changing his body from childhood to youth and from youth to old age. Similarly, the soul enters another body at death. Where is the illogical presentation? This is scientific. For an intelligent man, this is scientific proof. And if he is still dull-headed, what can be done?
But the soul is invisible. How can you be so sure that it exists?
Just because something is invisible doesn't mean we can't know it exists. The subtle body of mind, intelligence, and ego is also invisible to you. But you know that the subtle body is there. We have two kinds of bodies, a gross body of earth, water, fire, air, and ether, and a subtle body of mind, intelligence, and ego. You can see the body of earth, water, and so on, but can you see the subtle body? Can you see the mind? Can you see intelligence? Yet everyone knows you have a mind and I have a mind. These are something abstract, you know? Oh, sorry, that was a doctor.
These are something abstract, you know.
No, not abstract. They are subtle matter, that's all. You simply have no eyes to see them.
Well, at present, we have three methods for studying the intelligence.
Anyway, you accept that the subtle body exists even though you cannot see it. That is my point. Similarly, the soul exists even though you cannot see it. The soul is covered by the subtle and the gross bodies. What is known as death is the annihilation of the gross body. The subtle body remains and carries the soul to a place where he can again grow another material body just suitable for fulfilling the desires of his mind.
You continue. You take the doctor, you take the role of guest.
Okay. You mean the subtle body and the soul are the same thing?
No, the soul is different from the subtle body. The soul is finer than intelligence. These things are all explained in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse 42.
Indriyani parani ahu indriyava param manaha manasastu para buddhe yo buddhe parasastu saha.
First of all, in the gross understanding, we are aware of only the senses of the body. Those who are like animals think that the senses are all in all. They do not understand that the senses are controlled by the mind. If one's mind is distorted, then his senses cannot work. He is a madman. So the controller of the senses is the mind. And above the mind is intelligence. And above intelligence is the soul. We cannot see even the mind and intelligence. So how can we see the soul? But the soul has his existence, his magnitude. And if one has no understanding of the spirit soul, he is no better than an animal, because he is identifying himself with his gross and subtle bodies.
Okay. So thank you, both of you. So you saw Srila Prabhupada. He's talking to big scientists, doctors all around the world. His confidence on the spiritual matters is what shaking them to. Okay? Interesting. Just his confidence. And that is how he could preach. He's not trying to sweet talk, just flatter people. No. He's strong, very strong in his conclusions. Prabhupada always speaks very simple, but with a great faith that, touches people's heart to accept. Okay, so you see, as a devotee, it's not surprising for him. Most important reason, because Krishna said it. And it is so sweet. Okay, so this chapter we continue from what we studied last time. We ended with this shloka, Karparna dosha pata svabhava prichami tvam dharma samudha chetaha yashya nishchitam bruhi tanme shishyasteyam sadhimam tam prapanna. The teachings of Bhagavad Gita start after Arjuna surrenders. So as a good teacher, this is a good thing to learn. We should never throw diamonds on the street. We give diamonds to somebody who's ready. So Krishna also holds the Bhagavad Gita message till Arjuna properly takes the mood of a student. Till the time he's silent, because he's not ready. What is the point? Now this is a shloka of surrender. So if you want to understand Bhagavad Gita, we should have the same attitude. There is a miserly weakness within my heart. Kripana. Upahada Svabhava. My whole nature is afflicted by that. Prichami, therefore I am coming to you, my Lord. Dharma samudha cheta. I do not know what is my dharma, what is my duty today. Therefore I am samudha. Yashya is my Lord. Please tell me what is ultimately good for me. Prayer means immediate good. Shreya means ultimate good. Nishchitam, which is definite. Rui, please say, Lord, I am your disciple, Shishya. Please instruct me, Shadima. I take your shelter. Tam prapanna. Now very interesting. Tamuvaja Rishikesha prasan iva bharata senayor ubhayo madhye vishidantam idam vachaha. What descended Bharata at the time? Krishna smiling. You see, this is a very beautiful painting. I was searching which picture I can see Krishna looks smiling, and I found this. He really looks smiling. Again painted by devotees, unparalleled. Look at the big beautiful eyes of Krishna. Such a beautiful face. Only devotees can actually paint Krishna. And then these are all in-house devotees of ISKCON, and mostly girls, because they have the natural ability of expressing beauty through painting. In fact, what happened that in America, Prabhupada gave equal opportunity to women and men. So many girls joined. And then to give services, he was thinking how to engage them. So why don't you paint? And some of them were not even knowing how to paint and became world-class painters just by their desire to serve Krishna. These paintings are like unparalleled. You don't find anything better. So beautiful. I only use ISKCON painting because they made by devotees. I'm not sure outside, sometimes just maybe person for money is making. They have nothing to gain by this, just for Krishna's service. O descendant of Bharata, at that time, Krishna, smiling in the midst of both the armies, spoke the following word to the grief-stricken Arjuna. And you see the word smiling. Now, whenever Krishna does something, there are 100 reasons. Krishna smiles here because a friend has become a student, which is, change of rasa that brings a smile. Krishna smiles because Arjuna spoke like a fool in the first chapter. Actually, when you read first chapter, it's a big talk on morality, But spirituality starts where morality also cannot solve the situation. Ends. If Krishna could have solved this whole Gita by speaking only morals, he would have not opened spirituality. Krishna could have solved the whole situation by teaching some technology to Arjuna, or maybe a few special missiles, more some special weapons he would have given him. Gita was not going to be solved by this. Actually, it was needed. It was needed Krishna to open up the spiritual subject matter. Therefore, Krishna is happy that a beautiful message now go to the world. Therefore, he's smiling. He's always waiting for an opportunity to instruct us. So he found an opportunity. He's smiling. He wanted to speak Gita. Here comes the opportunity. He's smiling because Arjuna, Krishna is himself smiling how Krishna's energy works so wonderfully. Even his devotee like Arjuna is bewildered today. What is his duty, which is unusual. That was on Krishna's will only, and Krishna is seeing things are working. So many ways you can see Krishna is smiling. And this is the first instruction of Krishna. And in the first instruction, sorry, this is not the first instruction. Here he's correcting Arjuna. You got a scolded him left, right, center. As a teacher or as a person, we should bend, not break. We should be careful. Sometimes we overestimate the capacity, relationship, and the person doesn't have that relationship, he may break. If the relationship is there, then he will bend and understand the mistake. Ashochan anvashochastam pragyavadam jabhashase gatasun agatasun cha. Krishna is telling Arjuna here, see, a devotee by nature is very, very merciful, but he doesn't get worked up. He doesn't get very disturbed. He says, Ashochan, Arjuna, you're crying for what is not worthy of crying. You're speaking like a very learned man. Pragyavadam sabhasase. But a learned person, Arjuna, does not speak like this. Gatasun agatasuncha. For a person who is gone, like who is dying, person is still not gone. I mean, he is about to go, but not gone. We are like, all of us are agata. We are not, gati is not over now. Gati means the dead. But we are not gone from this body. We are about to go. So either condition, he doesn't feel sad. It's very nicely painted. And you can see the sage. Don't assume that he doesn't have compassion. Sometimes, oh, we don't feel bad. No, definitely. A great person, one of the qualities is he cannot tolerate to see other person suffering. But there is no point in sitting down and crying like that man because the soul has gone to another body. There is no point. He knows the situation. He's definitely feeling sad for either of the two people. One person who suffered in the body and died, another person who is injured and is somehow struggling to make his ends meet. But knowing that, he's not worked up, he's not disturbed like that. He knows Krishna is in total control of the situation. Okay? So Arjuna be crying, that's what Krishna is mentioning here. Arjuna, he could have told Arjuna, you're speaking like a fool, number one. He could have spoken. Actually, from spiritual platform, it was a foolish talk, what Arjuna said. From moral platform, I think the highest thing anybody could have said. Forgive the Kauravas after they did what all they did for whole his life. Arjuna was almost 90 years at that time. Whole life has been a life of torture by the Kauravas. Whole life. They cheated them, cheated them, cheated them, and cheated them. And they suffered so much. But he had nothing in his heart. He's a noble soul. No anger. And he's ready to forgive. I don't think we can have a higher moral talk than this. At least, can you mute everybody? Okay, no, it's okay. So, therefore, Krishna is telling Arjuna, Arjuna, you're speaking like a learned person, but learned person does not speak like this. That's the way teachers should be careful. Sometimes we take liberty to express our anger of somebody and people do not have a relationship. When there is a strong relationship, you can proceed. You can quickly do your job of correcting somebody. When the relationship is not there, And we should be careful not to break somebody's heart. So anyway, you see, Krishna could have spoken to Arjuna. He had a greater relationship, but he's teaching us how to deal in this world. You speak in a way that doesn't break somebody's heart. What is he saying? You are speaking like a learned man, Arjuna, but Arjuna, learned people do not speak like this. What a soft way to say. He indirectly saying you're a fool, number one, but he's not saying directly. He's saying you're speaking like a learned man, Arjuna, but learned people do not speak like this. It's a perfect example for all of us to learn how to deal in this world. Okay, let us proceed. Natvevaham jhatunasam nattam nema janadipaha nachayavana bhavishyamaha sarve vayam atah param. Never was there a time that I do not exist, nor you, nor all this king, nor in the future shall any one of us cease to be. And there are two philosophies in the first shloka of instruction of Krishna. First shloka, previous to this shloka, 11th shloka, he just scolded Arjuna in a very gentleman way. In the 12th shloka, he starts the teachings and giving a reason why we don't lament for any condition of the living or the dead. He has to explain. It requires big explanations. Krishna says, here is the explanation. There is never a time that I do not exist, nor you that all this king, and never a time in future will come we will cease to exist. And explaining the level 1 class, at this point, Krishna rejected two philosophies in the first go itself. First go. The one philosophy says that therefore Krishna is Jagat Guru. He is best Guru. What is the first philosophy? Many people say, what? That I am that after I am dead, I am finished. And I take birth on a particular day. Therefore, doctors also, they say, maybe 28 weeks, some living symptoms develop in the womb. So before that, we can kill the child. That's what their conclusion is. They allow abortion before a certain date, not after that. Because then the living symptoms are manifest. But they don't understand. Soul is there from the day one. Not only that, soul is there from many lives. They don't have an idea of the soul. For them, body, some combination of neurons is the life, which you totally reject. Okay? Neurons cannot, whatever combination cannot produce life. They have no proof for this proposals. So here Krishna is saying, no, there was never a time that soul did not exist. And never a time will future will cease to exist. They say when somebody dies, it's finished. No, he's never finished. The body is finished, the soul is not finished. So one philosophy rejected by Krishna is the atheist, who say we came into birth on a particular date and will die when the body is finished, we have also finished. There is no difference between me and the body. So Krishna rejects that. Krishna is upholding eternity, the spirit soul, beyond this body, both before and after. The second thing Krishna is rejecting is a philosophy which is mostly people in this world are actually covered by atheism today, and they're unfortunate victims of some theories which say which support this atheism. Feel sad for them. And the second thing is that people who say so very large chunk of people today say how much. You know, when I try to go in college at the 18 years when they are just don't want to listen. Just don't want to listen. You know, in the college, the posters will be there. I can't even put a poster for Gita 18. Nobody will come. I put posters for the bridge classes, techniques of stress control, mind control techniques, or something else. Definitely in our personality development, science and spirituality. Never these posters. Not one will come, maybe two. But to get 4 to 5% student with posters and announcement in the class is the help of management. I get 5% students. The college has 5,000 people, 25 people come for the class. This is the condition, very, very difficult condition. You know, this even audible so 5%, 0.5%. 99% students are not just interested. This I'm talking about the youth. The sum of youth, you are there, you understand the reality. And those who are trying to come, the friends tell them, don't, not to go. Why you're wasting your time? This is the age. At old age you go. You want to become Swamiji or what? That's what they pull. It's a very difficult situation. So most of the people say, they will take this scenario. I say maybe because some want to come because of peer pressure they don't come. So the large chunk is not interested. We can put a number later. Second thing, those who are interested, a small percentage, say 10% who are interested, they are mostly into almost atheistic theory that I am God. You are God, I am God. I was God, but somehow I have forgotten I was God. And I've come to know now I am God. I'll become God. This is so pervading, this theory has created havoc in spiritualism around the world. Like corona virus, it has spread everywhere. Everybody feels this. I was God, but I have forgotten. Today I have separated. After some knowledge and some tapasya, some meditation, I'll merge into God. You finish your ego, you finish all your desires, you become all pervading consciousness, you are God. Now, this is very prominent, and Krishna is rejecting this also. He said, no, because there was never a time I was not there, you were not there, kings were not there. That means we were always eternally separate from Krishna from in the past. We were never Krishna. We were always separate, a servant. And always in the future we will remain. Na chaivana bhavishyama. And never a future situation will come. Never a situation future will come that I'll become God. So sweet it is. Okay? Today I am not God, neither a future, a situation come. Never a future, a situation will come that I'll become God. Okay? Okay? Nor in the future any one of us cease to be. Okay? Beautiful. Dehinosmani yatha dehe kaumaram yovanam jara tata deh antara prapti dhira satara namohyati. So is this clear? This was a very major point. I re-emphasizing, I discussed this. So Krishna, right as an Acharya, right from the beginning, has done it. Dehinosmani yatha dehe kaumaram yovanam jara tata deha antara prapti dhira satara namohyati. This we discussed. Srila Prabhupada also used this argument, the logical argument. Body is continuously changing. I had a childhood body, I had a youth body, now I have an old body. Yeah, childhood body is gone. I remember what I did in childhood body. I can remember what I did in youth. I can remember college, sitting on those benches in the college, L7 lecture hall. I can remember my childhood, standing in the bus stop or the bus in the fog and mist of Delhi, can't see anything. I can remember all that. And I can remember all this thing. I can remember going below the bus, had an accident once. I can remember everything. But I know I'm not the body. Even though the body is a change, I can still remember all that. I know it was me. It was me which went through all these things. Okay? But I know the body has changed, but I'm the same person. Just wait some urgent call. Why is he making somebody? Harik. Hey, Rohan is making some. It's a very urgent call. I just take it for this urgent. You understand? You tell him maybe after class I'll come. Yeah. न जायते मृते व कदाचन नायम भूता भविताम अनुभूयः अजो नित्यम शाश्वतयम पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. For the soul, there is neither birth or death, nor having once been does he ever cease to be. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, undying, and primal. He is not slain when the body is slain. Okay? This is a strong argument to Krishna. The soul never dies. Okay? Aja is unborn, Nitya is eternal, Shastra is constant, Purana is old. Krishna is repeating again and again. Hey, Shiva, what did he wants to say? No. Vasamsa jainani yatha vihaya navani grahanati naro aparani tata sharirani viha jendani anyani samyati navani dehi. As a person puts on new garment, giving up old one, similarly soul takes a new material body, giving up old one. Just like we are used to this. We change the body, we take the new body. Okay? Similarly, we throw the old dress, we take the new dress. Easy. Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, na chainam klediyanti apo, na soshayati marutaha. Okay? So that's easy. Yeah. So when Naina Chindanti Shastrani, Nainam Dahati Pavaka, Nainam Chindanti Shastrani. The soul cannot be cut by any weapon. It's totally anti-material. Nainam Chindanti Pavaka. You cannot burn it. Na chainam klediyanti apo na soshayati maruta. You cannot dissolve it. You cannot dry it. Okay? Asharavat Pashyatikas. This is called amazing shloka in the Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter. Amazing. Why? Because some look about the soul as amazing. Asharavat Pashyati Kashyatena. Asharavat Vadati Tadeva Chanya. Some describe him as amazing. Because all these properties, if you had a particle with all these properties, definitely should be amazing. We have periodic table, so many particles, they are all dead. This is living particle. It should be amazing. Number one. And this is living. Body is always dead. Soul is the only thing living. Then it has no mass. It has no swing. It's amazing. So some hear him as amazing, some describe as amazing, some look on the soul as amazing, while others, even after hearing about him, cannot understand him at all. Shrutvapi ena vedana chaiva kashyat. Okay, very nice shloka. I call it amazing shloka. Now after this, we will have something very interesting. And this is the life of Chitraketu. So illustrate this point. There was a king called Chitraketu. He is very great king. He had one problem. He didn't have a child. So what he did was that he was sitting sad one day, and this sage, first who came to him was the sage Angira. You can see this person. And Angira came to talk to him that, Angira just came to visit him, and Chitraketu was very respectful to him and served him nice feast, gave him a lot of respect. So he was very pleased. He said, my dear Chitraketu, you are so gentle, but you are sad. What's the problem? I don't have a child. Okay. He looked at him. He cannot be instructed. He's totally worked up. His mind is so disturbed about that point. He said, okay, I'll do something for you to get a child. So he did some puja to Twashta, some Devata called Twashta, and gave him the prasada of the Devata. He said, you'll get a child now. Select your wife, whom you want among all. He had many, many wives. He was just marrying one after another, but didn't get a child. So to give to your wife, whom you like maximum, give the sweet rice, and she will bear a child, and 1 year later, you get your child. He said, okay, done. He called, Kursituti, come, quickly take the sweet rice. And she took the sweet rice. And then after 1 year, she gave him a child. When he got the child, it was so beautiful. You can see this child, extremely beautiful boy. And he had told him the child will give you a lot of happiness, also a lot of sadness before going. So he said, okay, sad. All the children become independent later. That's not important now. I want a child. So anyway, so he got a child, very beautiful child, extremely beautiful. And he was so happy with the child. It was like overwhelmed. And he was extremely happy. And whole kingdom used to love the king. He was otherwise a very good king, except one problem, not getting a child. They all loved his administration, everything. They loved him actually. So their whole kingdom was very celebrating and joyful. Our king finally got a child. But then what happened? All other wives got neglected. The behind you can see, as expected, that happens. And they felt so angry and envious of this Kritudviti, they killed the child by giving him poison. And then this person actually could not take up the shock. And then he was crying with the mouth open. At that time, Angira and Narada again landed up. And in a hidden form, they instructed the child. And then after the instruction, the child, Narada Muni by his potency got the child to wake up. And then the child starts instructing his own father. Very interesting. And then Chitraketu come out of his old illusion and then takes to spiritual life and becomes a very great devotee in the history. Okay. So I'll go to this part all. It's a very big story in the Bhagavatam, Chitraketu story. I tried to do, I think we'll have to go to YouTube to see the video. I'm trying, but you have to go to YouTube to watch. And then it is there. I don't know why. Other videos worked, but here I have to do this. Suresh Prabhuji, just tell the audio is okay.
It's perfect.
In the province of Surasena, there was a king named Chitraketu, who ruled the entire earth. During his reign, the earth produced great quantities of fruits, flowers, herbs, and grains. King Chitraketu had 10 million wives, but he did not receive a child from any one of them.
Everyone should understand my sad story. Although I am young, powerful, and rich, still I'm not happy. Alas, yes, I have hundreds and thousands of beautiful queens, and yet none of them bring me happiness. Who is that? Oh, it is the great sage Angira. Oh, sage, welcome to my palace grounds.
My dear King Chitraketu, thank you very much.
Please sit here. Allow me to sit at your feet. Kindly accept this feast, for your pleasure is my satisfaction.
You are very kind, and I'm most pleased with the respect that you have shown, King Chitraketu. Now, tell me, how is everything going within your kingdom?
The kingdom is going well, Angira. I have a full treasury. My enemies have all been defeated. I have killed all the thieves in my kingdom, and all the citizens are happy.
However, I can see that you are not happy. Your face is pale with worry.
Yes, you are correct. I'm not happy. And the reason is simply that I don't have a son.
Now I can fully understand your problem. Would you like me to help you?
I beg you to kindly do something so that I may have a son.
Very well. To fulfill your desire, I will go and perform a sacrifice to the demigod Twister. Then I will return.
Thank you, Angira. Thank you. Thank you so much. Do you think that he can actually do it? I know Angira has many powers. Oh, I hope he's successful because I want a son. My son.
Chitraketu, I have performed the sacrifice. Here is sweet rice, a remnant of the sacrifice. Give it to your foremost queen, Krita Duty, and you will have your son.
Krita Duty! Krita Duty! Krita Duty, come immediately! Krita Duty! I want you to eat this sweet rice. Quickly, quickly. Eat it quickly.
Great king, now you shall have your son, and he will be the cause of great happiness. But he will also be the cause of great, great sadness.
I wonder what Angira meant by that. It is not important, though. At least I will have my son.
In due course of time, a son was born to the king and his wife. As the boy grew with each passing day, so also the love of Chitraketu grew for his son.
Have you all heard the news? I have my son. Here, I'm giving some charity. Everyone should get some. Elephants, horses, cows, gold, villages, anything. Whatever you want, you'll get. Just please bless my son so that he will have a long life and become strong and famous and wealthy and... Oh, here he comes now. Oh, come to Papa. Oh, isn't he wonderful? Say something to the people now.
Did
Did you hear that? He said my name. Krita Tuti. Oh, doesn't he look just like me? The future king of the world. My son, my son. Now it's time for my son's nap, so we'll have to go. But don't worry, you'll have a chance to see him later. Let's go, Krita Tuti. Say goodbye now, son. Come on. Oh, he's so intelligent, isn't he?
My son, my son, my son. That's all we hear. I haven't seen the king 2 times since his son was born.
He only loves that Krita Duty who gave him his son.
He has no time and love for us. We are certainly useless and very unfortunate.
Now isn't the time for crying, for I have spent enough time alone in my room feeling sorry for myself.
What do you think we should do?
I have a plan. It is not a pretty plan, but it will work. And to tell you the truth, that is all that I care about.
Anything would be better than the way things are now. Tell me more.
Yes, I will. Come with me. This plan will solve all our problems, and it will solve them for good. My son, my son, my darling little boy, you have made my life worthwhile and filled it up with joy. My son, my son. Come, come, loved one, come to mother. It is time for your nap now. Hop into bed. That's right. Feel safe, oh wonderful child. Feel safe and know that we all love you so much. Now, I must go and tell your father that our darling is safe and soundly sleeping. Oh, wonderful and beautiful child, take gentle rest. My son, my son.
My son, my son.
Shh, quietly, quietly. All we have to do is give this deadly poison to the little darling. And
the poison will do the rest.
I'll do it. It is done. Let us leave.
Goodbye, my son. Have gentle and long rest.
Now is the time to wake up the wonderful joy of my life, for he has already slept too long. Wake up, my darling little boy.
What has happened, my wife? Has something happened to my son? Oh!
What have you done? You are so cruel. Have you no mercy? My son, my very life. No, you can't take him from me like this. I won't let you. Chitriketu, King Chitriketu, please request our son to come back. Please, King, please do something. Please tell him to come back.
As the king and queen lamented, their friends joined them in crying. All the citizens became almost unconscious due to grief. All except two.
O king, why are you crying? Your son is lying there before you.
You should not joke at a time like this. My son has died.
But the same body that you loved is still there. What is the difference between your son's body when you loved him and played with him, and now when you simply are crying over him?
Who are you? Why are you asking all these questions?
I want you to understand that it is not the body of your son that you loved, but the soul within the body.
Yes, but it was my son.
Who was your son? Your son is here. But the soul who made you love your son has gone to another body.
But you don't understand. He was my only son.
The soul always existed in the past and will always exist in the future. There's no reason to cry when the eternal soul moves to another body.
Oh, great liberated person, you are of course correct. The pain I'm now feeling comes only to those who have no knowledge. Please free me from the pain of thinking that my son has died, and please give me real knowledge.
My dear king, when you desired to have a son, I came to you.
It's Angira.
As for this Rishi, please allow me to introduce the great sage, Narad Muni.
Oh, great sages, please instruct me, for I have no understanding of the soul. I am just like a pig or a dog, for I have no real knowledge.
You should not be so upset over the loss of your son. Actually, when I came to your palace, I could have given you this sublime transcendental knowledge.
Why didn't you instruct me then? Your gift of a son has caused me so much pain.
You could not hear then because you wanted a son and nothing else. But now you are experiencing the misery material attachment brings.
Yes, I am actually experiencing that.
One's pleasures in the material world, like one's kingdom, military power, treasury, friends, and relatives, are actually the cause of one's miseries and fears, because they only last as long as a dream. King Chitraketu.
Yes, Sri Narada.
Carefully try to understand who you are, where you have come from before you were in this body, and where you are going when you leave this body.
Who am I? Please show me clearly who I am.
If you understand that you are an eternal soul, you will have knowledge and obtain peace. My dear king, behold, by my powers, I will bring your dead son back to life. O living entity, return to this body. Your father and mother and all of your relatives are crying with great unhappiness because of your passing away.
Oh, my father and mother are crying? Which ones are my father and mother?
Son, don't you recognize me? I'm your father, your daddy.
In which birth were you my father? I am a soul. I have had dog fathers, cat fathers, lion fathers, and frog fathers. All these relationships do not last very long.
But son, come back. Mother and I love you.
So you love me as your son. But maybe, just maybe, in my last life, I was your enemy, and I have died at such a young age just to give you pain.
You might be that thief that I had killed.
No, I am a soul, and the soul never takes birth or dies. I am an eternal, tiny spark of God, and my real business is to serve Him. I travel from body to body, fulfilling all my desires. When will I desire to serve Krishna and be free? This knowledge makes me so sad. I can no longer enjoy my family or friends. Why does it make you sad? It will free you from suffering and allow you to serve God. With your permission, Sri Narada, I will leave now. By your grace, Narada and Angira, I can actually understand that the living being is not his body. My child is not his body, and I am not my body. My illusion is now finished.
Now you must perform your duty by carrying out the dead child's funeral ceremony. After doing so, Narada Muni will teach you a prayer, a very powerful prayer. If you chant it with great care, you will see the Supreme Lord face to face.
Thank you, Angira. I can never repay my debt to you.
After performing the funeral ceremony, King Chitraketu left for the forest and bathed in the sacred waters of the river Jamuna. There he learned a wonderful prayer from Narada Muni. As Chitraketu practiced the prayer, his mind became more and more purified until he was cleansed of all material desires. At that time, completely fixed in Krishna consciousness, King Chitraketu received the greatest benediction of his life. The Lord personally appeared before him in his beautiful four-handed form.
Because you have accepted the instructions of the great sages Narada and Angira, you have become completely perfect and seen me face to face. I am the sound of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Neither this transcendental sound or the form of the deity are material. They are spiritual and eternal. If you accept this with great faith and apply it to your life, you will attain me and return to my eternal abode.
By the mercy of the great devotees, Angira and Narada Muni, King Chitraketu was freed of all material desire and thus became a pure devotee of the Lord.
Yes, Suresh, we can have some questions. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, you all enjoy. Very nice video.
Yes.
My son.
Very nice video, Prabhuji.
Very touching. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Devotees, you can raise hands. Mohan Keshwan Prabhuji, kindly unmute.
Yeah,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. My question is about how many days the Bhagavad Gita knowledge was imparted by Krishna to Arjuna. Was it one day or all the?
Half an hour. It's half an hour.
And the second question is who recorded these verses when Krishna imparted? No, Vedavyasa was the author, right?
Yeah, he has written the whole Mahabharata.
He has written, but when this conversation was happening, this is in between, Lord
Sanjay.
Krishna and Arjuna.
Just like Sanjay is able to witness the battle the
Mhm.
grace of Vyasa. So why not Vyasa directly? He is authorized notes taker for whatever Krishna does.
So he was witnessing, you mean to say?
Yeah, witnessing and writing.
Okay, thank you, Hare Krishna.
See, just like Valmiki, see, whenever important personality comes to bring somebody to scribe, isn't it? Everything is recorded. So similarly,
Right.
Lord Rama brought Valmiki to wrote Ramayana, right? It's authorized. Similarly,
Right.
Krishna brings Vedavyasa. Instructions are there. Otherwise, not only Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has spoken so many instructions that are recorded.
Right. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
There is in Bhagavatam also Uddhava Gita, even more advanced than Bhagavad. There are Bhagavatam has 5 Gita, Uddhava Gita, Moon Gita, Gopi Gita, Rudra Gita, so many Gita. Can you not buy it? Wherever any set of instructions can be made into called Gita. Yes. My voice is less now. It's okay because always it happens. This.
Yeah, you need to be a bit closer to the mic, Prabhuji. Now it is better.
When we put on it has a computer will have a auto setup. So I'll just. So whenever you put a loud music and all, that will go to reduce its setups, not to bombard you. So I just now it's better. My voice.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, now it's better. Hare Krishna. Yes, easy.
Hare
Yes.
Krishna, Prabhu. How are you? Good?
Yeah. Good.
I
No
have. Okay. I had a question about oiling the beads. What type of oil do we use?
I'm not an expert in all these things. I'm brahmachari expert. I don't want to give you a wrong answer. I have to ask my boys and tell. They'll tell. They do all these things.
Okay, no problem.
One of the oils, any oil will do the job, but which is the best one, they will tell me. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sindhu Mataji, any questions there on the chat box?
One question, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Is there a certain number of souls existing that keep circulating in various life forms? Champa Mataji is asking.
No, see, the souls are eternal. And the Lord is not static, He's always expanding. Okay, so this dynamics, just like in this room now, I am there. Now there will be 5 more people. So they don't bother too much about number of souls. There are as many as number of atoms, unlimited. Unlimited universes are there. Unlimited souls are there. So nothing static. It's dynamic. And Krishna is not static. He's still growing, expanding. What devotees are saying, the expansion of love of Krishna to the devotee, the love keeps increasing. That is what we are interested in. But see, we all like to expand. I'm father, I want to become grandfather, I want to have more children. Everybody is expanding. Materially, they're expanding. Family is becoming big. We are expanding. A family bigger, 5 children. At least conceptually, things keep expanding. So Krishna is not static, he's expanding. Somebody asked one question to Prabhupada, that's like an atheistic trick for sadhus. The question is it possible for God to create something which he cannot lift? So Prabhupada said, yes, he can create, and then next moment he will lift also. So how he created something he cannot lift? So God is not static, he's expanding. He increases more and more powerful than what he was before. And then he lifts it. The same way, there's not a question of too much to be bothered about. There are unlimited souls and unlimited universes. And Lord is also not static. So it's going on.
Hare Krishna.
So another thing, the soul creation is not the one we talk about the soul, because soul is eternal. What we talk about is expansion. Like Lord expands to various incarnations. That's called Swamsha. The Jivas are called Vibhinamsha. And the Lord has a unique property. What is the unique property? He does not reduce, even though he expands.
Hare Krishna.
Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevave Shishyate.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prachi Parik is asking, please explain once again, Prabhuji, how to live in this world.
Balance your life. We are not the body, we are spirit, soul. The first priority should be to the soul, not to the body. That is the mistake we do. We save time in the wrong place. Just like today morning, you decided to give some time to hear about the soul. That's how it has to be. The most precious time of the day is the morning time. Okay, so sleep early, get up early. It's very peaceful time. Read Bhagavad Gita. It will lead to deep introspection and it will give you a solid foundation. When you want to make a building, first thing you need a good foundation, isn't it? So you want to build your life. Where is the foundation? Practice, no foundation. So we need to make a solid foundation because life, sometimes weather keeps changing, sometimes at least so-called happiness is also called, sometimes distress, so-called, like Chitriketu. He didn't have foundation, he was crying with mouth open. Bhagavatam said, and he was fainting again and again. You saw that? You were looking at a child with, he was fainting. True, there will be some pain definitely when anybody, child dies, but we can handle it. But if you don't have knowledge, you will die. Maybe you will also die. You'll have a heart attack and die.
Hare
Okay?
Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Is it okay to offer spring onion to Krishna?
Offer?
Spring onions.
Huh?
Spring onions.
Spring?
Onions, Prabhuji. Spring onions.
I don't know what is spring onion. I know one onion is there which we don't offer.
That leaf that grows from onion.
Onion we don't offer. No, onion garlic we don't offer. But something else, I don't know what is something new thing.
No, spring onions cannot be offered to Lord Sri Krishna, Prabhuji. It's the bubble of the onion with the green shoots on the top.
No, we don't. See why? The reason has been this Ayurveda has, Ayurveda the one who has chalked it out as a tamasic influence. So even though it's vegetarian, see, idea is not to offer anything to Krishna which is not sattvic. So we don't offer because rasic, tamasic, things we don't offer. For Krishna, better than the best, isn't it? How do you offer service? Krishna comes to your house, you will give better than the best. So because it has tamasic, rasic influence, we avoid. We cannot do nevedya of that.
Yes, Prabhuji. Over to you, Suresh Prabhuji.
Jyotsna Mataji, you can unmute.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I have one doubt. The soul and the body cannot work independently. The soul sees through our eyes and hear through our, hear through our body only. So it feels and fulfills its desires through our body only. The moment it leaves the body, the soul is also helpless. And what motivates the soul to enter to the other body? What is the guiding force behind the soul once the soul is leaving the body behind?
The desires. See what happened, the soul remains always pure. Nitya Siddha Krishna Bhakti is always pure. Impurity are kept in the mind. Just like injury happens to the gross body. You cannot injure the soul. Soul is eternal. So experience of injury happens through this gross body, pain through the God body. We identify with the gross body and we feel pain. No pain can be possible for the soul. Soul is, but it is through the identification. Similarly, soul identifies with the mind. And in the mind, all the tension, anxieties are kept. The material mind. Okay, so when you leave the body, you go with your mind, which is all the desires, attachments. And because of the desires, you change. Just like a 4-year-old child and 10-year-old child, you cannot put the same dress, different dress. So when the mind has changed, it needs another body. You got it? A 4-year-old child, the dress is different. 10-year-old child, dress is different. When the gross body just put over the subtle body, and I explained to you, the stitching is perfect. Nobody is feeling uncomfortable with the body. They're quite comfortable with the body. Even a dog is happy with the body. Exactly fitting the kind of mind he has. And there is not nature 1 or 2. Nature has 8 lakh models in other species and 4 lakh in human species. So there are a lot of models to fit you.
The question is, the moment the soul leaves the body, And there is no, the soul cannot perform any activity by itself because it doesn't have a body to do it. And
Soul
then
has
it has to
spiritual body.
enter to the other body. What is the motivating force in that?
Soul has spiritual body. Don't say it doesn't have body. It has a spiritual body covered by the subtle body, motivate the desire. It has desires to enjoy in so many ways. This body is not facilitating that. You want to fly in the air. This body does not facilitate that. And the subtle body developed that desire. In that subtle body, a gross body, the bodily put fitting and satisfying the desire. Okay? That see, soul doesn't need either the subtle or the gross body. It had all the faculties. It has a mind, it has the intelligence, it has all the senses. Now, just like you are seeing the cloud, who is seeing? The soul is seeing. How? It has eyes. It has eyes. How is it seeing? Soul has ears, therefore it is hearing. So soul has all the functions, including mind and intelligence. But because it has some desires of material enjoyment, it is keep taking birth again and again. Karanam guna sangvasya sadasas yanmajonishu. Bhagavad Gita will say, 13th chapter, Karanam guna sangvasya. Because of association, it develops desires, and that forces us to take body one after another. Okay, so it is forcing it. So when the body is it is leaving this body, because this body has become old or useless, it has a desire, and therefore to fulfill that desire, another body is given. You continue, Mataji, your question. Is it clear? So I'm not getting what your question is.
No, it is to a certain extent. My doubt is got cleared, but still, I will go through the.
It's a desire.
I'm not fully convinced though.
No, see, the particular desire, it needs a body. You agree it needs a body, but this body became useless. No, it became old. It has to dump. It cannot work anymore. Correct? Either out of heart attack or out of cancer, the body has become useless now.
What if the soul doesn't?
Continue. Yes, Josna Mataji, continue.
What if the soul doesn't desire another body? It prefers staying like that.
Then it goes to kingdom of God. When it has no more material desire, goes to kingdom of God to serve him eternally.
So again, it is guarded by this papamut karma or punya karma.
No, karma cannot. When you desire to serve the Lord, karma is burned. Just by that desire, karma is burned. Karma is not permanent. Just like when you're sitting and chanting Hare Krishna, you're burning tons and tons of karma. You don't know how much karma you've done. Trillions of lives, not one life. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. And when you're feeling the pleasure, rather, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Don't think it's a small thing. Just like in Mahabharata, bring big Brahmastra they're making. No, there's bigger than that Brahmastra. This most powerful. The mantra, this most powerful mantra. It is said, people are generally attracted when somebody can fly in the air, walk on water, some siddhis. This is much more important. The pleasure of chanting the name of the Lord. And then they want happiness. No? Real happiness comes from taking shelter of the vibration of the Lord's holy name.
So you mean to say that by chanting this mantras, we inculcate the soul to be consciously, after leaving the body also, to have this habit of chanting, and then goes to Bhagavan Tiruvadi.
Yeah, when you chant Hare Krishna, the mind becomes purified, which is giving you unwanted desires. They're all stored in the mind. So all those files are deleted. And it's like a vaccine. And also the soul is woken up. Soul is actually lying in slumber. Soul wakes up. When soul wakes up, first thing it sees the Lord. He's a great devotee of the Lord. Nitya Siddha Krishna Bhakta Sadhu Noya. It just a desire. Can I be independent of the Lord? So Krishna gave an experience. What is independence? Look at it. And then it feels, and to give that desire, because it is an illusion, the soul is put in kind of a slumber. And when the soul, when the soul desires to serve the Lord, there is no need of illusion now. Soul wakes up. And when soul wakes up, first sees the Lord standing next to him. It falls as a fit to the Lord. Lord, you didn't leave me. And then
by chanting Bhagwan's names, all vasanas will go off, bad or good, and there is no karma for the new soul who by that that soul is taking a new birth.
No, the soul doesn't need any material body then. And the soul itself will take a particular, it has a body, but now the particular form needed for the service will be taken by the soul. No matter will be there. See, today there is a difference between soul and the body. Okay, when you go to the spiritual world, your form and the soul has no difference. It is spiritual. So soul takes a shape according to the. Suppose you are Nanda Maharaj, you are father of Krishna. It will take a form accordingly and serve Krishna like a father.
Thank you, Guruji.
Okay, these are all difficult things, but as per the Shastra.
Digest it is very.
And all the karma goes away, and you are very happy eternally. You solve all the problems forever when you enter the spiritual world. Here, say some problem. I am hungry in the morning, breakfast I need. Your problem is there, you solved after breakfast, but not forever. Again, you have to work, get food, but forever because soul doesn't have hunger, doesn't have and thirst. Soul is fully in the body. Just imagine the soul, always fresh, doesn't need food, doesn't need rest, anything, is always eternally fun, full of energy and happiness. Sachidananda, eternal, full of happiness, full of knowledge. And we are that great soul, but somehow lost in the body, we are behaving like a donkey. And we are not able to realize our real glory. But the real glory of the soul is always as a servant of the Lord, always as the Das of the Lord.
Thank you, Guruji.
By depending on Krishna, we become independent of everything in this world. Hare Krishna, Mataji, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Over to you, Meera Mataji.
Achha. Now, Prabhuji, I have two questions. One of the mantras says that soul leave the old cloth, just like we change the old cloth and go to the new one. And we see many times the young age guys also died. Their body is not that old, but even then soul leave them. So why then soul leave
The
them?
body is become useless because of other reasons, some accident, some disease. The principle remains, vasasi jeernani yatha vihaya. Just like a cloth becomes old, you change and take a new cloth. But sometimes cloth becomes torn. Like sometimes you kept your cloth in some almirah and a rat came and made holes in it. Now that is also, essence remains same. True, the detail is it didn't really become old, but the body has become useless by some reason or other. Correct? Either it got cut or an accident or got some cancer, even a young age. So not that it has to become old all the time. It becomes useless. That's it.
Okay. And sometimes people say that when we are born, then we know how much life, how many breathings we will be having in our lifetime. So our number of the years are fixed at the time of our birth. It is right or not right?
But you can commit suicide. You can commit suicide. So suicide can be committed grossly by physically you can hang yourself. That freedom you always have, or by disorganized life. If you're eating, sleeping, and all these are not proper, say when you buy a car from a company, it has a particular life. Agreed? They will say this works for 15 years. But if you do not properly oil the engines, if you do not properly do various things, then you're reducing the life expectancy of the car. So similarly, we have a life, say generally say 100 years. In Kali Yuga, one of the reasons the life is reducing is disorganized. Eating has no time. And people don't even eat sattvic food. They eat tamasic food very easily. And sleeping has no time. They don't sleep till 3 o'clock in the night. It's not good for your health. And body needs, if you give it, see, body is like a machine. See, food, that suppose you're every day eating breakfast at say 9 o'clock. At 8:30, the acids comes to the stomach. It's scientific. If you don't eat, it burns the stomach wall. Correct? Because it has to digest something. It digests your wall itself. It brings acidity. You know that? If you don't eat, so you should eat at exactly same time you should eat every day, the body will be healthy. Exactly same time you sleep every day, the body will be healthy. But what is the sleep pattern today, particularly the youth today? Sometimes they don't sleep only, night out. And what is my night out? Just joking. My uncle is like that. When I childhood, I got to call hostel, it's called Bulla. I just keep talking until morning. Why you do like that? So you see more and more today as the so-called civilization is advancing, more the life is becoming disorganized. Eating is not fixed. Sleeping is not fixed. Mating is fixed. You have a wife. You have no wife. co-living, and live here, there. Meeting is not fixed, eating is not fixed, sleeping is not fixed, defending is not fixed. So then what happens? There's so many problems come. They say for the disorganized life, the life is coming down. Otherwise, you are correct. The number of breathing is fixed, and the yogis, knowing that, they go to Himalayas and reduce the breathing because they are scared of dying now. They feel they are not ready. If suppose I tell you exam is tomorrow, what we say always, can you postpone 1 more week? I'm not ready now. So they want to increase their life, so they reduce the breathing. And sex life, when sex people are having, they increase their breathing, so their life goes down. So sex reduces your life.
Okay. Thank you.
Therefore, sages don't indulge in sex, and they do meditation to reduce the breathing. But what we are saying, forget this calculation. You just take shelter of Krishna. See, there are two ways the mother takes care of the child. One is the cat, holds in the mouth, and one is the monkey, keeps the child on the back. So monkey has to save itself on his own strength. Mother will not have. Monkey will be jumping from one branch to another branch. He has to hold for its life. But cat is like holding, mother is holding by his own loving mouth. Correct? So we have to decide if devotee is like a kitten in the mouth of the mother. And non-devotee, like generally yogis, they're not generally devotee. They're trying by their own yogic power to secure themselves. They are like the monkey child holding on. So we are not so much in calculation. In the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, you see there are various indications given. If you die at this time, it is good. If you die at that time, that's not good. But then the shloka comes, devotee doesn't bother about all this because he's like a kitten in the hand of the mother. He leaves it to my Lord. My Lord, I served your whole life. Do what you want. He's not calculating. Okay? If you wish, I go to I'm ready. He just totally surrenders himself. But a yogi is not. They try by their own power, like a monkey child holding on the back to do something. So they do all this thing. Go to the Himalayas, let's reduce the breathe, slow down the breathing, strictly don't indulge in any sex, and keep meditating on God to become pure, and then leave the body. They do all the gymnastics. But here, we just serve the Lord whole life, and whatever it takes, and leave the body thinking of the Lord, depending on the Lord. Avashya Rakshive Krishna. Certainly Krishna will protect me. That is faith he has.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
It makes sense.
Hare Krishna, Etirajan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavad Prabhu. Kindly accept my obeisance to you. And I was thoroughly enjoying your sessions all these 2 weeks. So my question here is, when a person falls in coma and leaves the body, and the soul leaves the body after some days, whether the time of departure of soul is considered for his next birth or at the time when he gets into the coma, because by the time he gets into the coma, the conscious is lost, at least for the body.
Internal consciousness, the loss internally is going on. Sometimes they come out also out of coma. Recently, that big case, no? England, it's in all the newspapers. He went into coma. A young boy had a major head injury, went to coma, and then he came out of the coma. And they see in the world with world with coronavirus, he's surprised. He didn't know how it developed. He's not seen how it developed. It was there in all the newspapers. So coma is a big situation where there is some big injury to the body and the soul is not able to express itself through the body. Correct? Because the connecting point, the brain is injured. Brain is just a local connection. Soul exists independent of the body. Soul is not able to express. Sometimes in coma, he just keeps crying. He can't speak anything. They see that, all those things. So soul is still there, but it's still not time to leave the body.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Big discussion. Coma has a big discussion. The huge discussion going on. Somebody told me, Yamaraj is thinking actually what to do with this fellow. Stay for some time, I have to make a decision. So anyway, Yamaraj doesn't need time. He makes a decision. See, many people say the suffering given, we should be told. So Yamaraja is told everything. And in front of you, the Yamaraja discusses what all you have done. So your major suffering happens in Yamaloka with all the information given to you. What you did, and therefore the suffering. So coma, You said the consciousness is only there, and you can still have kirtan. He can hear something. The body is soul is there. More detail, Prabhuji. I'm not an expert on this.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Over to you, Sindhu Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. If soul is different from body and it cannot be divided, why do kids exhibit traits of parents or family members?
See, there are two parts in the body of the kid. One is the DNA, one is the mind. DNA is borrowed from the parents. The bodily activities are, but the mind is the software. The software is independent of the DNA. Scientists say they can understand a person by DNA. No, sir. Only the body, the skeleton and other things. The muscles, skeleton, nerves, but not the mind. Mind is independent. So the mind is independent. In association with the parents, it can develop some nature because child tends to imitate. That's his nature. Maybe by that. How do you analyze now? Children are independent also. They have different likes, dislikes that parents don't have.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Please explain how do we get to meet spiritual guru and initiation?
Our process is already on for you all. Shraddhavan, Sevak, Sadhak, Prabhupada, Ashraya. Please keep proceeding step by step. When you finish Prabhupada Ashraya, then tell me. I will organize. Take it?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. If the soul goes from one body to another body after death, no one remembers the previous life in new life. That is very unfair, as one has to start from scratch again, relearn everything again, don't remember anything.
Oh, why the design? You think you would have done better than Krishna? Krishna makes you forget. Krishna makes you forget, isn't it? Krishna makes you totally forget everything. And so why not start from scratch? I tell you, in life, don't you ask it, give me another chance. And you say, I will start from scratch. I think that's instead of too much clubbed with so many anxieties that develop, so much mess we made, let me have another chance from scratch. What are you feeling injustice is that person has to learn the material education again? That's useless anyway, no? I told you I don't have much value for this avidya. Upanishad talks about vidya and avidya. So the avidya is forgotten. Avidya means how to bend an iron. Do you think it's very important to learn it? Vidya is kept. Krishna doesn't touch the vidya. Vidya is kept in the heart, totally awakened. Avidya you have to do again. True, if you have done previously, it is easier to learn because some impressions are there in the mind. Actually, some people have extraordinary ability, which are prodigies. They learn fast any field. Some level it will help you. But vidya is kept intact. Your spiritual awakening will be intact. So in the next life, the moment opportunity comes, you see some kirtan is happening, you sit there and enjoy. The soul is already awakened. See, awakening of the soul means spiritual activities become tastier and tastier. Awakening doesn't mean more academic knowledge. More means kirtan is so sweet, Bhagavad Gita is so wonderful, Krishna is so beautiful. That is called awakening. The Nama is so tasty. That awakening is kept as it is. That Krishna will not touch. Neha bhikavanashto asti pratyavayo na vidyate. Krishna, in this, there is no diminution, no finishing. Salpa is dharmasya trayate mahatavya. Then little awakening. Say, suppose every day you take a time to chant 1 or 2 rounds also. Next life, guaranteed human life. How can something be more auspicious? Guaranteed. Because next life, Krishna will give you a chance to continue from here. And if you sincerely chant, go back to Krishna Loka. Yes, Meera Gupta, what is the question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Over to you, Suresh Prabhuji.
We take Prashadam.
Hello.
Hmm.
The next question is from Ojas Mehta. Why should human beings get attracted or attached to materialistic things or family members? Why should we get more senses, intelligence, and infinite brain power? We could have been an animal or a tree or senseless creature. What is the logic for existence of human being?
Very good. Good. Thank you. Beautiful question. In the human form of life, a freedom is given. Animals don't have freedom, so there is no sin for animals. Human form of life, it's like an experiential learning design. Even AI, they're talking about experiential learning, trying to imitate our human system. So 80 lakh forms, you got varieties of sense pleasures. Enough. मतलब सोना है तो सो जाओ 6 महीने के लिए सो जाओ. Some people like to sleep. The BS life, they got it. And today, youngsters are attracted to sex. Yes, the birds do it hundreds of times in a day. Do that also. Enough. Now satisfied. Now you have been given enough of all that. So therefore, you can take up to spiritual life. Okay? So no need to say, let us do in human life enough of the enjoyment. Already been given to you. In human life now, don't do play around with the laws, because every activity you do is being watched. And if you behave like an animal or a bird, you'll go down there. And you lose again crores of years going through that slow experiential learning. Human life opportunity is there for learning by hearing. And it's a short time. Just like you're climbing a Tirupati hill. When you're climbing a Tirupati hill, you get 30 seconds for darshan. You might have taken 5 hours for climbing. Similarly, human life, you have taken a lot of species, like millions of years. You got just 50, 60 years. Compared to millions of years, it's like that 30 seconds. Just pray to Balaji. That's all you're supposed to do. But that time, what was yesterday it was too much raining. What will say somebody coming out? Are you idiot or what? 30 seconds you had a darshan opportunity and you're talking with a friend about rain yesterday. You could have talked all the way. So similarly, human form of life, Prahlad Maharaj says that you just have few moments now. Labdava, this is another shloka. I'm not getting Prahlad shloka, but this I'm getting. Labdava sudulladam idam bahu sambhavante. Labdava, you got it. Sudulladam, very rare to get. Bahusam, after many, many births, you got this one. Thorna, quickly endeavor. Yateta, endeavor. Anumritu yavat. Before death comes, quickly endeavor. And Vishaya Kalu Sarvata Asya. This sense enjoyment was available everywhere. They're talking about rainwater you could have done before. Human form of life is just few seconds. And you're watching for this opportunity. This opportunity is there now to go back to God's kingdom or go back, enjoy your material desires. So in a life of enjoying material desires, which we are all come here for, Krishna once in a while checks, would you like to come back? So after giving you sufficient experiential learning, he brings you human form of life, where you have ears to hear about spiritual knowledge, you have eyes to see the beautiful form of the Lord, you have mouth to chant the name of the Lord, you have nose to smell the flowers offered to the Lord, you have hands to do service to the Lord, you have a mind and a brain to think about the Lord, you have all the opportunities. Now you're going to take advantage of it or not, Krishna watches. And just like, but you say, no, I'm interested in sleeping, okay? Beer's body is there. Now, beer's body, that's such tamasic desire means slowly experiential learning, taking better. Experiential learning, then come to human form. And does it satisfy or still has? Good question. Okay. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Should
Hare Krishna.
exit?
Is there any specific time to read Bhagavad Gita?
Any time. Na niyame, na kala. No time, no rules.
Sirish Tare Prabhuji,
Always morning is better. Always. Hare Krishna Sirish Tare ji. Bhagavatam reading is going on.
Sirish Tare Prabhuji, you can unmute.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Actually, as more I'm listening to the question and answers on the soul,
questions are coming.
I'm questions are getting more confused. So I have one new question therefore.
Now you just imagine how wonderful person you're beginning, because man is known by what kind of question are predominating in his mind. So your question is not about food, question is not about sleeping. Okay, in this area questions, very nice.
Okay. See, if the soul is after leaving the, let's say, human body, he has still undesired, unfulfilled desires. So it enters into another body. So why the soul enters into a, let's say, animal body to fulfill some desire? Because he can get the best desire into the human body.
No. That gratification is very comfortably there in that body and with no sin. See, in human body, you do certain activities, sin will be there because you had a freedom to choose better things. Punishment is only when you do something irresponsibly. An animal, tiger eats meat. You want to eat meat, become a tiger, no? It's good body. You don't have to have a kitchen and so much cutting and all, and no sin, no sin. For a tiger, there is no sin in eating meat. But for you, it will be serious. So better go to tiger body, enjoy, again and come back. You don't deserve the responsible human form, basically. Say, I give you a very good example previously also. This mobile is there. Now, this mobile can be used as a paperweight, but I can also use for calling. Then what is the use of spending 10,000? I could have better bought a stone for paperweight. So when you look at yourself in the mirror, you should think what is the best way you can use the body. Suresh Nairji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
One limitation is there. That colleagues want to take me. We have to meet some officials. They come to Bangalore for that.
Okay, so Hare Krishna.
They're all looking on my face. What are you trying to do? But you should thank Mataji here. Mataji, come. She is my host. She has already taken Diksha in ISKCON. Her name is Puja Vrinda Devidasi. She is very attached to worshipping Tulasi. Anybody needs Tulasi seeds or guidance how to take care of Tulasi? We were talking about Tulasi. We can have Suresh Prabhuji. She can take a class on Tulasi. She's an authority on Tulasi. Okay. We'll arrange one day a session with her for Tulasi. Okay? Sure. And maybe we will ask among our colleagues who all know Tulasi good care. So a panel can answer all the questions about Tulasi care. And some people, yesterday I had that Tulasi in America in winter, how to manage.
Yes.
So we can do like that. Take care. Please forgive me for my unusual situation. I could take a class, but the Bangalore traffic is very bad. They're telling we cannot give an appointment, so then we have to leave early. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Vancha kalpata rupascha. Keep note of the people and the question which we missed so that tomorrow we take it up first.
Yes, Prabhuji. Tomorrow do we have class, Prabhuji?
Left to you people.
Okay, we will decide in
okay. Otherwise, with the new system, I have a class on Saturday. Okay? Because we already said it. Let us try that model. If needed, we will merge the two Saturday, Sunday later. Okay?
Okay.
So it is final that Saturday 6 a.m. we will have a class.
Weekly. That's it.
Yeah.
Because I'm keeping your word. Because you said that I actually lost one day in between in my calculation. But you said that today is the last class, so it came from your mouth. So
no.
College, school. You tell tomorrow is holiday. Then after that, tell tomorrow is not a holiday, it will be terror.
It's a pleasure to continue.
Okay. The Bhagavatam class is there every day, but today I don't think I can take the class. My colleague, somebody will take the class.
Prabhuji, so should we check with Devika Mataji later on during the day about the courses? How do we go forward? Or
no, the courses. See, we did a wonderful thing. Devika Mataji gave an idea yesterday. Your own WhatsApp group, if you look the name, it has changed. It has become advanced course now. Okay? So those who do not want to be an advanced course, they will go away. So you don't have to shift to another. You're already auto-promoted to this course. No need of registering anywhere. The group itself, we change the name instead of, what it was to advanced course. So you have been auto-promoted to the advanced. So we'll follow this model now. No need to register anything anywhere. And in the same group, the links will keep coming for the classes. One thing was there that the advanced classes I wanted to take on Teams. So this can be done, Prabhuji, tomorrow. The testing can be done for the teams and we can help them with people who do not know how to use Teams. Because I have 25 accounts of Teams and I want to use them. It saves me money. And for senior classes, I think it is good enough. Correct? Teams. What do you say? Or they like Zoom itself? You can test tomorrow. If there is a difficulty, we will see differently. But I think we can use Teams. Okay.
So Saturday, we will continue with the classes at 6 a.m.
And people, let them install Teams and start testing among each other. Okay. And tomorrow you can have a trial of Teams, just a trial of Teams, not a class, trial of Teams. Any problem, you can sort it out. Correct?
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay, I'll send the link and be tested, or Teams can be tested, because some people are changing the platforms. It is difficult for them. Teams is as good as Zoom. There's no problem at all. Okay.
So request to devotees to kindly install Microsoft Teams in case it is not there.
And tomorrow we test it around. Okay, so suddenly for the class they will feel very bad if suppose there is always a learning curve in a new platform. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhaveva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnava. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the puppet show. My child, my